So in the last lesson, we issued out a challenge to track when and how many times the user's been here before. So what we want to do is set a few cookies here. So we're going to set one cookie to track the amount of times the user's visited. So we're just going to call that cookie visits, and from here we're actually going to take visits and we're going to add 1 to it. So we're going to increment visits by 1. So even if it's 0, if this is our first time, it's going to be issuing that value. So we're going to have to update this as well, because this isn't going to quite work. Or no, it's going to actually be setting the cookie. So we're going to do our cookie check prior to that. So this is going to be incrementing our visits. So this conditional statement will still work. So now all we have to do is set time as we've done before. So just down here where we set time. And this time we're actually going to only set a very minimal amount of time for the cookie to expire. So this could be number of visits we've done in a day, in a week, or so on. And then we're going to also check when the person last visited, or last time. And here what we're going to do is we're going to set this date, and then we're going to use that same expiration of the cookie. So again, you would set this to whatever you want it to. So if we actually want to set it equal to 1 day, so every day we're going to be tracking how many times the user comes and visits the page. So we've got this tracking in place, and we have to actually do a check prior to this to see if the cookie exists. And if it already exists, we want to increment this visitor count, because right now, no matter what, it's only going to be visits once, because this cookie is going to be 1. We're actually not setting that value, so we have to be able to update the value of visits to account for the number of times the cookie's been set. So we're going to do a quick check to see if the cookie is already set. So just like we've done down here, where we're checking to see if the cookie is set, copy that out. We're going to check to see if visits has already been set. And if visits is already set, then what we're going to do is we're going to actually set the value of visits to be equal to the cookie value of visits. And also what we want to do as well, so for now we're just going to go back out and refresh this page. So first time we get a welcome, second time we've been here before, you've been here 1 time, you've been here 2 times, last time was, and then we see the last time that the user visited. So I've added in the 2 checks up here to check to see if the cookie visits exists, and if it does exist, then what we're doing is we're adding visits, and we're adding that cookie value to the visits. And actually we probably have to do an increment of the visits as well, so that it's accurate with the current value that's going to be in place here, because remember, this isn't going to get updated yet. We're not going to see that updated value unless we were actually calling that cookie value down here, which we could do as well. So there are a few different options that we can take here, because it's only once we actually set that cookie that we get that actual cookie value. So down here we're actually checking to see if the last time visit, we had to move this over and move the date into set with the cookie, so we could actually get the actual last date that was visited instead of having the current time. And we've set both of those cookies to expire in a day. So this is all optional depending on how long you want this tracking to take place. So if I was to come back after 24 hours, I'd be a first-time visitor. Welcome. And this is how you set up cookies and set up a user track and user count using cookies within PHP.